Helping the internet community is an opportunity for me to grow as a person, to better understand how I fit into the world around me. In today's video, let us quickly explore on webhooks. What is it? It's a kind of API architecture driven by events rather than requests. It's a service that will be invoked due to an event in an application that will pass information to another application. Webhooks are otherwise called as reverse APIs. They also called as HTTP push APIs or web callback because they push information to a target application based on an event instead of an application making a request to a source application. With that, webhooks are type of APIs with one-way communication that is triggered based on application event. Webhooks are a kind of post service to post data to another URL. They use either HTTP or HTTPS protocol. An application, instead of making repeated requests through API calls to another application for a data or response, an application can sit back and get the data or response from another application without any effort. They deliver messages to connected application instantly and in a secured way upon an event. If you want to automate your application landscape or business, you need a way to make your application talk to each other. Then, to help in this process, webhooks are really helpful. Now, let's see how to design a webhook. There are two primary components for a webhook design. They are webhook center and the webhook receiver. The Webhook Center is basically an application that has many events within their boundary of operation. For example, posting a customer record in a customer table performed by the application is an event. You need to consider three important things with respect to the Webhook Center. First one, among the number of application event, the Webhook Center should have to identify or filter the basic events required for processing. Number two, the webhook center requires a secret key for the post operation in order to pass information to the webhook receiver in a secured way along with other payload information. Third one, we need to identify additional data or properties that need to be passed to the webhook receiver as part of the post operation, that is, payload information. Usually, the post operation will be performed either using HTTP or HTTPS protocol. On the other side, the webhook receiver need to register themselves with the webhook center with the two information of the URI, that is API that handshake with the webhook center post operation, and the secret key. The URI is nothing but the API from the receiver side, which receives payload information from the webhook post and used for further actions based on business requirements. Before accepting the webhook's post, the secrets which are part of the webhook's post will be validated at the receiver side. Once it is successful, then the payload information will be considered for further processing. Now, let's see webhooks usage in common scenario. Webhooks are used in the following key scenarios: real time data notification, sending a new subscription or unsubscription data to a CRM system based on an event. For example, upon a user makes an unsubscribe request to a mailer, send a notification to the CRM system to update their underlying database. It is used to connect to two different applications. Third one, a code change has been committed in the GitHub. For example, kick off a CI/CD pipeline to redeploy your website when the content has been updated. Another example is a payment has been initiated in PayPal and update the application accounting software for a notification or a database update. The last one, push notification to user when a new video is uploaded it into the website. Now, in the next section, let's see the difference between webhooks and APIs. Both webhooks and APIs enable syncing and relaying data between two applications. However, both have different and serve slightly different purposes. First, API send a request to the provider and requesting a response data for next business action. That is, API send a request to a resource and wait for resource response. Whereas webhooks push the data to the receiver almost real time based upon an event triggered at the sender side. Second difference is APIs are request and response based, whereas webhooks are all event based. Third difference is APIs are highly resource sensitive because they poll the resource with repeated requests till they get the response. Sometimes a request will be queued for a longer period for getting the response from the resource. Sometimes the request may time out, whereas webhooks are all less resource sensitive because they fire and forget because they deliver the response and look for a new event. The fourth difference is APIs operate two-way that apps can send a request and wait for response from other apps, whereas webhooks operate one way that just to pass the message payload to destination based on event mapping in the source. The fifth difference is APIs usually act as a messenger for medium or bit larger data, like passing payload as a large JSON or XML data, whereas webhooks usually act as a messenger for smaller data. For example, pass customer ID and the payment status as a smaller message in JSON or XML format. Last one is APIs are all preferred option when constantly polling a resource for data change or large data transfer, whereas webhooks are all preferred option to exchange the data between the services. Once again, helping the internet community is an opportunity for me to grow as a person, to better understand how I fit into the world around myself. Thank you, and I hope this short video will be helpful to you for your career.